They say that everything is bigger in Texas. We reckon this ranked-on-ranked rift to be no exception. Fresh off the heels of an appearance in the Women's College World Series final, #1 Texas Tech treks to College Station as #11 Texas A&M awaits with an unshakable chip on its shoulder after a regional upset exit last postseason. And with that, we welcome you high above Davis Diamond for this all-Texas tilt. Giovanni Heater alongside Tori Vidalis with you. And Tori, it doesn't get any better than this. You got two teams looking for Lone Star State supremacy, looking for a huge marquee win here in opening weekend.
Yeah, this is a big game for both of these programs, kind of a measuring stick to see where they're at. These teams met last year in the same place. It was the story about Nigeri Kennedy and her $1 million arm, but this year it's about the Texas Tech transfers and how they're going to come into this Red Raiders program and see what they can do.
It starts inside the circle today, though, with Texas A&M's Sydney Lessentine. What can we look for in #7 in the Aggie scripts?
Well, Sydney Lessentine is someone that the Aggies are going to rely upon a lot this season. She's got incredible spin, and she can beat you with a lot of different pitches, but I think the key for her today and for the rest of the season is to have command of every single one of those pitches, and I think if she's able to do that, she'll have a lot of success against everybody they play, but more importantly, here tonight.
This place is absolutely packed to the brim tonight, Tori. This is awesome. This is what college softball is all about.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. I've been at quite a few games here at Davis Diamond, and this has got to be one of the top crowds that I've seen, and we're just now starting. I expect it to get a little bit more rowdy as we go on.
No question about it. First pitch is on the way, and it's taken high and in for ball one by Maya Davis, the center fielder tonight for the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Davis, Lovelady, Texas native, and the righty deals. 1-0 is drilled deep to right, and it is gone! Red Raiders in front, 1-0, just like that.
We're used to seeing Maya Davis's speed, but how about flashing a little power? Not to mention getting them going. First at bat of the game, up in the zone, able to just keep her barrel flat. Wow, what a swing. I love that we expect to see the speed, have her put it on the ground. She says, nah, I want to flash my power a little bit. I want to show you I got the juice too. We're talking about all these transfers that hit the long balls. Maya Davis wants a part of it.
First home run of the season for Davis. And the Red Raiders wasting no time. Here's Mia Williams, second baseman, taking a pitch high and away, and the count 1-0. Well, Texas Tech comes in #1 in the country, tied for that first place spot with none other than the Texas Longhorns, who beat them in the Women's College World Series final a year ago. Count even at 1-1.
Nothing like a leadoff home run to kind of punch you in the gut a little bit. I think for Sydney Lessentine, I mean, she's no stranger to the composure. If you remember her last season getting put in the Liberty game with the season on the line, bases loaded, 3-2 count, the situation that you prepare your entire life for, she was standing in that situation and was able to come out successful and get them back into the dugout. But now I'm curious how she's going to respond after that leadoff home run.
Called a strike, count even now at 2-2. And Coach Texas A&M talked about when we spoke with her preseason how much trust they have in Sydney Lessentine, right? And she's one of the younger members of this Aggies crew, but it's because of the difficult situation she's been put in.
Yeah, I think you look back to last season, Lessentine, she got thrown out there probably a lot more than you would think she would as a freshman, and a lot of that comes down to having to split time. You can't rely on just one arm as much now in today's game as you were able to, you know, maybe 10 years ago, even 5 years ago. You're seeing that staff mentality develop, but then you also see how important that is. Like now, Sydney Lessentine is only a sophomore, but think about how much experience she has under her belt. She's made for the big moment, and she can keep that composure because of the situation she's already been in.
A big moment right here early. Gives up the leadoff home run, now in a full count with Williams. Payoff pitch hit into the air. Deep to left field, tracking it back, and it's gone! Back-to-back jacks for Texas Tech. 2-0 Red Raiders.
If I know anything about Jerry Glasgow's programs, it's that they can swing it. And I was actually just down in the cages before talking about Mia Williams. He pointed at her and he said, that player right there has had the best fall. She's had the biggest transformation, and how fitting that she comes out and is able to blast a home run in a 3-2 count. Good hitters compete. Was it the most perfect mechanical swing? No, but that's the beauty of being a competitor. It doesn't matter what it looks like. All that matters is, did you get the job done? And I have to say, I think she got the job done.
I think I'd have to agree with you, Tori. Does it feel like some of the air has been sucked out of this place a little bit here in College Station?
Oh, yeah. Everybody's holding their breath, I think, in the crowd. But you have to remember, there's a lot of game left. It's the top of the first, and if you're A&M, you want to prove that you can put those runs up on the board too. But first, you got to work on getting a few outs.
Here's Taylor Panel. Panel plays third base for Texas Tech tonight. Hitting it at .455 already, has a home run and 3 RBI early on this season. Swings and misses, 1-1.
Yeah, Taylor Panel, one of those transfers we talked about in the beginning of the show. Transferring over from Tennessee, was one of their best hitters last season, all the way to the World Series, was on fire in the World Series. Really big addition for Texas Tech.
1-1 misses low. The count now 2 balls and a strike for Panel. Yeah, this is a team assembled out of the transfer portal with some elite freshmen in there as well. But this is about as super team as it gets. The 2-1. Hit to the left side, scooped up, and there's one away.
Yeah, super team is right. It's almost like Avengers Assemble. You've got All-Americans transferring into the program. I mean, really any position you go to, you can find an All-American, and not to mention the power that they bring in the box. They've only played 3 games so far, this being the 4th, and 7 of their players have already hit home runs. So expecting to see quite a few home runs. Wouldn't be surprised if they got up to 100 this year.
Both teams off to a 3-0 start. Both teams have won via the run rule in each of their 3 games so far this year. Dominance across the board. That's what you'd expect with 2 top 11 teams nationally.
Yeah, it's fun talking to both of these coaches beforehand. And, you know, some programs may be a little afraid to play Texas Tech. You know, all these big players coming into one team, trying to assemble basically a super team like you mentioned. But both of these coaches are saying this is a great measuring stick to see where we are for the rest of this season and what we need to get better at.
Jazzy Burns with a base hit. Getting the Texas Tech faithful going. 2-0 Red Raider lead here early. Now their first base runner of the night. Still only 1 gone here in the first inning. And what is the thought process right now if you're Coach Ford with your team in an early hole like this, backs against the wall a little bit against number 1 in the land?
I think for me, it's let them fight through it. I mean, you're going to be in some tough situations all season. How are you going to respond? Are you going to kind of sit down when the pressure gets tough? Or are you going to bow out your chest a little bit, get big, and compete? At the end of the day, we talk about competing in the box. It's the same thing in the circle. You should want that ball. It's all about having that dog in you, right? Like, how are you going to get punched in the gut? Because everybody will at one point or another, but it's about how you respond. How quick are you to respond? And I think for Lessentine, for her to be able to come right back out and shut this inning down with no other runs being put up, no other runners being let on, to me, that would be like, yeah, you're owning your moment. Okay. And then seeing how she responds the next inning if she gets that chance to come out again.
And you know A&M, not a program or a team by any stretch of the imagination that is going to roll over. That's not the culture that Coach Ford has built here in College Station.
No, not at all. Very blue-collar work mentality. They welcome the hard. And that's what makes it, I think, exciting to watch because you know that they're never out. And it's funny you mentioned that because that actually is their motto this year, is never out of the fight.
Yeah.
And I think that goes to show it's not just the coaches saying that like, hey, we're still in it. It's the players that came up with that. They said it took them about an hour and they sat down. They really thought about what they wanted to convey. And I think that goes to show it's not just the coaches saying that like, hey, we're still in it. It's the players that came up with that. They said it took them about an hour and they sat down. They really thought about what they wanted to convey. And I think that goes to show it's not just the coaches saying that like, hey, we're still in it. It's the players that came up with that. They said it took them about an hour and they sat down. They really thought about what they wanted to convey. And it was never out of the fight. There to see if Davis would go and see the arm of Maddie Sowney behind the plate. Coaching staff said she threw out every runner this fall, but I don't know if A&M has a runner like Maya Davis. I don't think many teams do.
2-0 from Munnerlyn. This is swung on, line drive, down for a base hit, and it's through into the gap, rolling to the wall. Davis scoring with ease. A stand-up Mia Williams RBI double. Red Raiders in front now by a run, 3-2.
And that's where that error comes back to bite you. The quickest runner on this team gets on via the error, and then the pass ball and
2 runs for each team in the first, with the long balls being a big part of it. Here's the 0-1. Tap to the left side. Tony is there. 1 gone. But ever since, except 1 run in the 5th, ever since, it's been quite the pitcher's duel. Peters doing what she can for A&M, and Kennedy all the way throughout for the Red Raiders.
Next in the box, the catcher number 92, Maddie Sowney.
Here's the freshman, Maddie Sowney, 0 for 2 today. First pitch to the righty. She swings, flares it, and a diving stop made by Williams for out number 2.
Kennedy making quick work of these Aggies. How about the defense helping her out as well?
Yeah.
Defense was a little bit of a question mark last year. They had their times, they would show flashes of greatness, but I think adding these transfer players to this infield, Mia Williams, Taylor Panel at third base, it's just added to this already great team, a team that ended the season in the national championship game, didn't come away with the title, but they came away with the experience, and now they just continue to add more pieces and more pieces.
Pinch hitter here, Dee Baldwin in for A&M. First pitch, flown foul into the seats. Down to their last gasp here with 2 gone, nobody on. 0-1 count. Baldwin ice cold, but A&M has yet to threaten. No runners in scoring position since the first inning. (3-2) Texas Tech in front. A long season ahead for both these teams. The Red Raiders trying to claim a huge marquee win early. The 0-2. Misses a hair high, 1-2.
Good take. That is tough to come into a game cold, right? Yes, you've been running in between innings, but your eyes are cold. They haven't seen a pitch, and to be able to take that when in a very anxious moment.
The 1-2. This is down and away, 2-2.
Another great take. It's so hard to stay calm in these moments as a hitter. You want to be the one that gets on to get the big hit, to tie up the game. But the ability to stay calm separates the good from the great.
2-2 on the way. Misses downstairs, the count is full. Dee Baldwin in 2 at-bats is hitless through 3 games this season. Comes in a pinch hitting role here in the bottom of the 7th. The $1 million arm in the circle. Nigeri Kennedy, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 gone. Payoff on the way. Swing and a miss. Texas Tech takes down A&M.
This game, 4 runs from both teams. And Texas Tech able to put one up late and take this game behind a phenomenal performance from Nigeri Kennedy. Not as many strikeouts as we're used to seeing, only 5 on the night, but gets the job done with the help of her defense. But how about the offense coming up clutch when they needed it most?
Fireworks early, pitchers duel late. It's a long season though for both these teams. Could we see them face each other again? We got an all-Texas national championship in the finals last year.
I think that's why we saw this game happening this weekend, to prepare both of these teams for later down the line. They could possibly meet again, and this game will be referenced if that happens.
This is what college softball is all about. For Buddy Kimberlin, our awesome producer behind the scenes, all of our camera operators, everybody in 12th Man Productions making all the magic happen. For my awesome partner, Tori Vidalis, I'm Giovanni Heater saying so long and good night from beautiful Bryan College Station, Texas. 3-2, number 1 Texas Tech flexes its muscles with a win over Texas A&M.